Hey everybody, this is Ron and Sean. She's sitting right over here. We are from our DIY homestead, and today is processing day for our market chicks. We can't show you everything that we do, but we can show you our different stations and what we're going to be doing at each one. This is where we're going to be dispatching them, and once they do that, then they'll go into the dipping tank to loosen up the feathers, and then they'll go into the plucker, and then they'll come over here to this station. Sean's going to be eviscerating them, and then we'll put them into a vinegar bath for about a minute or so, and then we'll put them into the cooler, keep them there for 24 hours, and then we'll take them in and get them ready for the freezer. So let's get started. All right, here's our first one. To show you how we put it into the cone. You want to put them, of course, head down with their feet towards you, and it hugs them like a little bear. And we'll keep a hold of their feet, and then reach up in here, grab their heads, pull them down, and it holds them pretty tight. And then what we're going to be doing is cutting their jugular just above their ears and letting them bleed out. And then we'll go over to the dipping tank and we'll pick up there. All right, once they have bled out, we're going to put them in the hot tank here and dip them for just not long at all, just enough to get the feathers loosened up. Swirl them around. The easy way to check it is when you pull them out. And if you can pull feathers off just like that, then you know it's ready. And now we'll go off to the next step. Okay, now that we're done with the dipping tank, we're going to put her in a plucker. And it's got a bunch of rubber knobs on the inside that's going to grab the feathers and pull them out as it spins. We just add a little water to rinse everything out. That is all she wrote. It will have a few feathers on it, but not much. You can see tail feathers are almost always on there, hard to come off. But everything else, just pick off what's left, and you are all set. Sure beats hand plucking. Yeah, off to the next station.
So my part is to take the bird and eviscerate it, or basically pull the innards out, just getting it ready for the kitchen. Because what I'll do in a couple of days, and we'll film this as well, is I'll take it in. We take the wings off of every chicken because we like to have chicken wings, and just get it ready for the freezer. The very first thing we work on is the neck, and I need to cut away the skin first, and I get it as close to the body as I can, basically just cutting through that. And then the neck has areas where there's no bone in it, and so I'm looking for that as I'm cutting, and I just make a circle around it. And then I will snap the neck off. And sometimes it goes easier, and sometimes it's not. This one seems kind of be a little bit more difficult, but that's okay. I've got a very sharp knife, and I'll just take it and discard that into our bucket of innards and everything. Then I turn the chicken around so it's facing me. The next thing I'm going to work on is getting rid of the legs. Now they have a joint right here, and if you pull it towards you, it kind of pops it out, and you'll know exactly where to make the cut, and you won't have to worry about any bone right there. There's one. Here's the next one. Again, I'm kind of popping the joint out and just cutting at that spot. So that's getting rid of the legs. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside of the chicken now, and I want to pull this skin away from the body because I don't want to cut anything that's in there that might explode, like the little green sac by the kidney. So I'm just making a hole, not a very big one, just where I'm big enough where I can put my hand in. And now I'm going to stick my hand in up along the top, and I'm going to basically break all the membranes so I'll be able to pull it out. And you're probably going to hear noise. It's just air going through the bird. I'm just making a circle with my hands, trying to break all the mucus. And the very first thing I look for is the heart, because that's up high, so I know I got the highest point I need to. I see it, I just have to grab it. It's a little slippery. Okay, so here's the heart. And I'll pull the rest of this out as much as I can. Now, by the kidneys, I know is a bile sac that I want to be very careful of. And I'll show it to you here in a minute. This is the bile sac, and you don't want that to break. You don't want that to get on your chicken. We pull the innards out. I wish I could say that we eat them ourselves, but we, the dogs love them. So that's who we're saving this for. And I'll just cut very carefully around it so I don't break it as I'm pulling this out. Okay.
And what did you just pull out?
That is the kidneys?
Livers.
The livers, sorry. The livers. Bile sacs there, it's fine now. This is the gizzard. This is where they store their food and they grind it up in the gizzard. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of grass in here. They haven't eaten for 24 hours, but their gizzards were still really full of grass. And I'll take these inside and I'll clean them up and cook them up for the girls, our dogs. So now is the gross stuff, all the intestines. And I just let it hang over my table into bucket. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling the esophagus because I'm trying to get I don't know what you call it there.
The esophagus, yeah.
Okay, esophagus. This is kind of I'm not a chicken innard expert, so I don't know what all this stuff's called, but I know that I need to pull this out of the neck. But I'll go check and make sure I got it all, and I didn't. And you just want to make sure to pull it out, just because it would be really gross to come across it when you're cooking. So there's that. Okay. Again, I'm just pulling everything out. That's, ugh, sorry, you guys saw poo. Right now, it's just basically grass. And as long as it's washed off the chicken, it's okay. Now, what I do is go in to the bottom, like, I don't know what that is, a testy maybe, I don't know. I just go in and I cleaned out the top of the ribs, but now I'm pulling stuff out of the bottom, and the lungs are down there. Anything that I feel kind of just holding out, again,
Kidney maybe.
No, that's a testy.
Okay.
So I don't feel anything else down there. So I feel pretty confident that he's cleaned out. Now, I take the tail off. I don't. And there's people who like the tail on there, and there's people who don't. I just like to take it off while I've got him sitting right here. I'm looking for the end of the tail. There's a bone there that I can cut right in front of, and that goes into the slot box. So there it is. That is how you eviscerate a chicken. Well, we now put him into our first bucket of ice water with vinegar, and he'll stay there until the next guy comes along and replaces him in it.